Okay, this video shows you a calculator that determines how much data that you need to collect. And keep in mind, when you're doing sample size determination, you haven't started your research yet. You haven't collected any data, so we're going to have to estimate some things. Notably, we're going to have to estimate what our standard deviation is. So if I go to the book, and here's one that says, suppose that the car mileage situation, we wish to find the sample size. We need to find the sample size so that we're 95% confidence, and we want the margin of error, this thing called margin of error, to be 0.3 miles per gallon. So how do we do this? We don't know what population standard deviation is, so we're going to have to ballpark it. And there's all kinds of different ways to ballpark it. They're estimating it to be 0.7583, which is fine. So if I go over to this and I put in, I wanted a 0.3 margin of error, I want to be 95% confidence, and my standard deviation estimate is 0.7583. 0.7583, then what it would tell you is I need to collect 25 data points. So if I'm starting from scratch, I don't have any data, to be able to generate a confidence interval on what the population miles per gallon is, population mean miles per gallon, I need to go collect 25 miles per gallon data points. That's what that means. Now, how do we determine what this is? That's a tough one. How do we determine? If you don't have any data, how do you ballpark this? And it's not trivial. But you can do a thought experiment. You can do this by essentially saying, what would be the biggest value I would get? What is the smallest value I could get? And take that difference and divide by 4. So if I thought that my max miles per gallon that I'll ever get is 40, and my min miles per gallon, and I said I'll get no less than 30. Well, if I have that, then I'm going to estimate sigma by taking this number minus this number in my numerator, divide by 4, and I would put that in, and I would put in 2.5 here. And once you do this, then it would say that's how much data you would get. Obviously, the better your estimate of this is, the better that data point. But if you're just starting, that's how you need to do this, is to come up with what do you think the biggest value, the smallest value, divide that by 4, and that's how you estimate sigma if you're just starting. But that formula is already coded up in this data point. That's already coded up. Okay, that's how you use the calculator, and that's how that the inputs are this number, that's an input, this is an input, and this is an input. Thanks.